Start the new year right during the Xfinity Hello 2021 sales event. For a limited time, get Xfinity Internet and mobile together for only $35 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement, and mobile with our 1 gig wireless data option. Plus, get $250 back. This sale ends soon, so visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 1/11/21. Restrictions apply. New performance starter plus internet customers only. Equipment taxes, regulatory recovery, and other fees extra and subject to change. After term regular rates apply.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Got to talk about this guy named Zach. He's a delivery driver for a Jimmy John's sandwich shop in Nebraska. His manager's name is Jason, and they both, you know what? They deserve some big props for what they did. A 48-year-old Army vet by the name of Greg had surgery on his spine last weekend. After he got home from the hospital, the incision started bleeding. He lost all feeling in his left leg.
Jeez.
He was all alone. He couldn't afford a cab and didn't think his VA insurance would cover the ambulance ride. So he called his sister in Florida instead of 911.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he called Jimmy John's. I was like, they're pretty awesome. I don't know if you could call them about emergencies.
Yeah, that's a sucky situation to be in your life where you think, I don't have the money to call a cab. I don't think I can afford the ambulance. And here he is bleeding. And so his sister, who he called, ended up trying to call his social worker to get him some help. But she dialed the wrong number and accidentally called a Jimmy John's instead. The manager, Jason, got on the phone and realized she had the wrong number, but she just launched into the story. So he listened and told her he tried to help. He couldn't leave the store, so he called Zach, who also happens to be a veteran. Then Zach called the sister back, who still hadn't realized she called a Jimmy John's. At that point, he explained, "Hi, I'm Zach. I'm from Jimmy John's." She's like, "I have no idea what's going on. Why is Jimmy John's calling me? My brother needs help."
Sandwich. But I'll take a number 14. The bootlegger's delicious.
Yeah. He got Greg's address. So Zach got Greg's address, picked him up, got him to the hospital, and now Greg's back home recovering and doing a lot better. Still no word on whether or not he got the bootlegger.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have any information on that, unfortunately.
At least give him the Club Lulu.
Dude, that's pretty sweet. You got to be, the fact that they were like, okay, let's see what we can do about this. And it ended up, one of the Jimmy John's guys drove him to the hospital.
I love the headline for one of the websites says, Jimmy John's driver delivers ailing Nebraska man to emergency room.
Yeah, if I'm Jimmy John's at this point, this story is out there. Seriously, you've got to highlight these guys in some way, shape, or form as part of your advertising or whatever, because it does make Jimmy John's look amazing.
Well, I don't know if they want to, though. Would that also then encourage copycats? Instead of calling for an ambulance, you're going to call Jimmy John's?
Yeah.
Like, I can't afford an ambulance.
Yeah.
What's the next best thing? Jimmy John's.
It does make me feel better about Jimmy John's, I have to say.
Well, Jimmy John's rocks.
Yeah, but now
I would crush one right now if I had one in front of me.
It makes me want to just go off a diet and go, listen, guys, let's just get whatever you want from Jimmy John's. I mean, in solidarity and celebration of how cool they are to help people. I think it's great. Yeah, let's do it, Steve.
Can I give a shout out to the Jimmy John's on Meridian and Puyallup since we're talking about Jimmy John's?
Let me check with my people. I'm sorry, Steve, no.
All right, well, I just want to say, whoever they hire to be their delivery drivers,
give it a shout.
Keep it up. Every time we have ordered from different places, and delivery drivers sometimes seem like they just don't have their brains on, or they're just kind of not very nice or whatever. The Jimmy John's delivery drivers are always awesome. Every time. And we've never had a bad experience. Yeah. And they're always different people. So it's just like whoever's working at that Jimmy John's, whoever's running that Jimmy John's, it seems like everyone there is in a good mood. Even when I do the drive-thru, everybody's super nice.
Which one is this now?
On Meridian in Puyallup.
Oh, let me ask you a question. You're sitting there heaping praise on it. Any of those drivers ever take you to the hospital?
No.
Well, then they're nothing compared to these guys.
That's a good point.
All right? Until they take your bleeding ass to the hospital, what kind of Jimmy John's are they?
Even one took a moment just to really say how much they appreciated me giving them a tip. And I'm thinking, wait, you're not getting tips from other people?
Dude, you'd be surprised. I mean, seriously. I mean, it may be the Jimmy John's way, which...
That's true.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Steve. I mean, I don't have Jimmy John's delivered, but whenever I go into a Jimmy John's, people do seem to treat you well there.
Somebody says, I don't know if the story's true or not, but I believe there was a lady that called an Uber for an emergency to the hospital because she couldn't afford the ambulance ride.
I remember when we went to Chicago and Sarah and I got into our crazy night and we ended up seeing a guy get a pint glass smashed in his face. The ambulance people came and they said, it'll be cheaper if you just take a cab to the hospital, dude. So we all piled in while he's bleeding into a cab and drove us to the hospital.
I got to remember that, man. And yeah, I wonder if the Uber person would do that. They're saying, the texter says if you tell Uber you've got an emergency, they'll just take you there for free?
Well, they preface it by saying, I don't know if the story was true or not.
Oh.
I would imagine it's case by case. You know what I mean? If you are something's going on, the Uber driver might be like, hey, look, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
especially if some guy's face is bleeding.
Yeah, if someone's bleeding, well, this guy's incision opened up. You don't want that all over your car? I mean, that's already, or you should be a helpful guy. See,
this, BJ, I'm not the only one that feels the same way about the Meridian Jimmy John's. Somebody said, I love the Jimmy John's on Meridian. Always good, always nice.
It still does not change my original question. Don't know of any stories of the Meridian Jimmy John's taking anybody to the hospital with a bleeding incision. All I'm saying. Okay. What is this, Jimmy John's? Where are they guys out of here? Nebraska. Okay, Meridian. Steve likes you, but until you take people to the hospital, you're not like that Nebraska Jimmy John's.
This person says a Jimmy John's delivery driver found my lost dog in the middle of the night, kept him safe until we were able to find him the next day.
What is going? Really?
Jimmy John's.
What is with
not
Jimmy
all heroes
John's?
wear capes?
Jimmy John saved my baby. I mean, seriously, there was a dingo, but Jimmy John saved my baby.
Yeah. This one. I had brain cancer. Jimmy John's delivery driver came over and fixed it with their mayo.
Ooh, that mayo is good. There have been rumors that they're doing testing right now in the Jimmy John's mayo to see if, in fact, it can cure some serious diseases. But again, it's only in the testing phase. So the FDA's got to approve their mayo for the treatment of a lot of different.
Jimmy John should pick the ball up and run with this whole thing, and just have like you know how everyone has all those great stories about Chuck Norris,
yeah,
but have it be about Jimmy John's delivery drivers.
Dude, it's like really life is imitating art, because that's kind of what they did in their commercials with that whole he's putting out fires. The delivery driver's so fast he can actually help him put out a fire because he got there faster than the fire department, so he's helping bail water. And it turns out their guys are kind of superhero-y like.
One person, to go back to the whole Uber thing, yes. I drove for Uber in Nashville, and there's no rule for emergencies. They say to call, though, 911 if somebody calls you, though. About, I guess, I don't know.
Okay.
Another person says, I'm an Uber driver. I had a situation where a lady didn't have enough money to go to the VA downtown, so I canceled the fare, gave her a ride to the VA from Northgate anyway. It's just those things that you do for other people.
Whoa.
Did you guys hear about the pizza driver that went to check on a grandma after Hurricane Matthew a couple years ago? So this grandson couldn't get a hold of his grandma, and police couldn't get to the house for him to check in on him. So he called Papa John's, and they got there in 30 minutes, and they put the cell phone up to the grandma's ear to say, oh, no, I'm okay, because she lost power.
What kind of pizza did they bring her?
It doesn't say, but she got pizza.
How about this? My Jimmy John's delivery driver helped me with my chemistry homework when he delivered to my college.
See that? That's pretty nice. See, Jimmy John's does it all. I mean, I know Papa John's, that guy tried to make it happen. Good for Papa John's, but, right now Jimmy John's is winning and they're helping everybody with stuff.
Jimmy John saved my marriage, just got texted in.
Oh, they saved your marriage?
Well, versus I'm a delivery driver, and I've pulled people out of wrecked cars, drive around enough, and stuff will happen.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I do any of that stuff. I think I just keep driving.
Yeah.
Shows the kind of guy I am. Feel good about myself.
One person said the fastest Jimmy John's delivery from the time I hit enter, 7 minutes. And Steve, it was the Meridian one. Dude, I see those drivers I watch because when they show up, Lulu starts barking.
All right.
And the minute they open up their door, you see them just start running to my door. And then they deliver it, and then they run back to their car. I'm like, this whole freaky fasting, they're really living it.
So they really are making that happen. Gosh. All right. Good for Jimmy John's. I got to tell you about Mark Cuban. I don't know if you heard about this, but he recently got together with Vanity Fair, wanted to share what his typical day is like. And I would assume, when you watch Shark Tank and, he'll back a lot of stuff and you go, he's involved in a lot of businesses, plus he's got, the Mavericks. I would think that Mark Cuban's day is insane, especially after we heard what Mark Wahlberg's day is like.
Mark Wahlberg's day is stupid. I mean, I guess that's what you do to get in shape and live a very productive life. But I mean, the minute he wakes up, he's at the gym.
I just love how mad you are about it. Yeah, I mean, it sounded like the beginning of your statement was, here's why he's stupid, and then he's working out, being kind to his family, making a good living.
Barely making time for his family.
Yeah.
Barely making time for his family.
Isn't it like all mixed in with like work?
Yeah, it's like in between working out and doing work.
Yeah.
15 minutes with the family.
He works out so much. I'm glad he does so. It makes up for the lack that I do.
So we know that Mark Cuban, I mean, his workout regime's insane. His eating regime is insane. It is.
You mean
it
Mark
is
Wahlberg?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg. Mark Cuban, on the other hand, I think I like his lifestyle. He checks his email as soon as he wakes up in the morning before catching up with the news, but also gives himself plenty of time to eat breakfast, plenty of time to drive his daughter to school, and plenty of time to go to the gym to play some basketball.
I even heard, I think it was in this interview that he did, that they're always like, why do you show up so early for, because he owns the Dallas Mavericks. They're like, why do you show up so early all the time, thinking that he's a real go-getter and he needs to get there to talk about strategy and business and things like that. He goes, no, I just want to get down there so I could use the court. It's pretty awesome that I get to be on the court.
Oh, wow. Isn't that trippy? Your owner is down there shooting hoops.
If you were a multi-billionaire, when you buy and you can afford it where it's not a huge dent in your wallet, would you not buy a sports franchise just so you could have access to everything?
Oh, definitely, dude. Definitely.
If I had all the money in the world, if I won the Mega Millions, I would buy the Seahawks from the Paul Allen family, because there's that rumor.
Oh, God, I'm glad you don't, because even though you have the best intentions, you'd ruin that team.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't?
Sure, we'd have a throwback jersey, and the jersey would be my face.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. You'd have your face painted right at the 50-yard line. Who are you kidding?
Yes.
That would be the logo, your face.
No, mine would be on the side, on the end zones, and it would be, and they'd have to work, the ground crew would have to work during the game, so it would be a big smiling face when it's the one on the side where the Seahawks are scoring, and then a sad face on the side that the other team would score.
I actually kind of like that. That's not a bad idea. Of course, when they switch sides, they have to go and then change the smile.
That's what TV timeouts are for.
That's what TV timeouts are for. That's right, buddy. That's awesome. I love this, though. Mark Cuban, who doesn't seem as busy as Mark Wahlberg, even though Mark Cuban is just as successful. The thing in the interview that he talked about is that he carries around 3 phones with him at all times, which, anybody that's carrying around 3 phones, you go, okay, sketch lifestyle. So what does he
Burner phones.
Yeah, what does he need 3 phones for?
More often than not, I'm on my phone. Now, it's not just one phone because I live so heavily off of email. Here's my Android Note 9. Here's my Samsung Galaxy 9 Plus. Here's my iPhone 10. I'm a tech guy. I'm a geek. So I need an iPhone in order to test apps. And it's the same with Android. I get 700 emails a day. Now, you may think that's a lot, but you know what I'd rather do? I'd rather do 700, even 1,000 or more emails than sit in long and tedious and boring meetings.
Wow.
I'm with him, though. I'd much rather spend time answering emails than be in a meeting.
Ooh. They both suck? I'm going to tell you that. 700? One of the best parts of this job is when I hired some other people on here so they can do the emails, because, man, I used to do them all myself, and I hated it.
Dude, every day, if I let it go for a few hours, I'll have 100 emails.
Yeah, well, I've seen your emails are insane.
Well, because it's a combo platter of people that are fans or listeners of the show writing, but a lot of them also are publicists that are constantly hitting me up about having a certain guest on. And it's just like, but I'd still rather do that than be in a meeting any day of the week. I'm with Mark Cuban.
Ooh, that's a tough one. It depends if the meeting's catered.
It sounds like you, though, Mark Cuban. I think you would do that if you had all the money in the world like him. You would have every top-of-the-line phone.
Oh, no doubt about it. I would definitely have all those phones he talked about if, in fact, I had the cash. I thought about getting a second phone because the Palm company, because I love Palm, and I'm glad they're back in business with their new cheap phone or their scaled-down phone that still is very expensive. I thought about getting one of those. Now that Mark Cuban's got 3, I could be on my way to Cuban Town.
And is it just me? I don't think I still don't get why he needs 3 phones. He can answer emails off of one phone.
I think it's the.
I think he just wants all the top of the line phones.
Yeah, the Samsung he has. He's got the Note, and then he said, and the iPhone for apps. But yeah, I mean, how many like Android systems do you need?
Right.
I would think he would get the Google Pixel, maybe. I would expect that because that's Google's phone itself. And you go, okay, what's their phone better than the other Android-operated phones? But he doesn't even have that.
Be great. He's like, this one's for all the women that hit me up that my wife doesn't know about.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's the answer you might never get. All right, hey, Steve,
yes,
one publicist that you don't mind taking calls from is somebody that says, hey, guess who's coming to town? Our buddy Jim Norton.
Yes.
You'll take that call anytime. Or that email. He's live at the Parlor this weekend. Digging this. He'll be with us at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, the traffic is jacked up. I guess there was an accident on 90 westbound.
Ugh.
And that's how Jim Norton had to get here, going 90 westbound. And
Can everybody just pull off to the side on I-90?
Yeah.
I believe Riley's driving the car.
Come on, let
Look for
Riley
Riley.
through. Yeah.
And just let Jim go. Treat him like he's an ambulance.
And I know that usually getting off, 90 to I-5 northbound is not that big of a deal because you get to go buy a lot of stuff, all that Seneca crap. But unfortunately, it looks like even I-5 northbound at 90 is a little messed up.
Dude, that's the thing, man. I noticed it even yesterday once the weather, with the rain. I just saw a crap ton of accidents just heading home.
The first rain of the season is like people, they had so much dry weather, they forget we live in Seattle and how to drive in this stuff.
Yeah, but then when it gets sunny out, people forget how to drive because they can't see. People just don't know how to drive.
People can't drive.
Yeah. They, for some reason, they just forget how to drive in general. We have sunshine, we have rain. Why can't you have this in your brain and your muscle memory and figure it out?
Oh, welcome to Seattle, Jim.
Yeah, congratulations.
Not that he doesn't understand traffic. He lives in New York.
Yeah, I know New York is a pain in the ass, but at least you got you got your subways and cabs and whatever. You can get where you got to go better than this. That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever tried to drive in New York, Steve?
Yes. And the anxiety is high.
I would just imagine, just because, I lose my mind here. There's no way I would ever try to do that, just by seeing the stuff on TV.
Well, we did it because last time we visited my parents, we rented a car so we could go to a Yankees game. We just needed to get away. And you know what I mean? Like when you do family stuff, I love my family, but sometimes it's just a little bit of a family overload where you're like, okay, I just need some peace and quiet. So what did we do? We go to Yankee Stadium for some peace and quiet.
Yeah, that's a place.
And man, just trying to get there to the new stadium and getting on the freeways. At one point, we were merging with cars where there was maybe 3 lanes and like 6 cars trying to make it work, parallel to each other. And I was like, I don't miss this one bit. I remember growing up and just watching my dad have meltdowns, and now I understand why, because it's just a cluster F.
Yeah.
So, Rev, I would prefer not to drive in New York.
That makes sense.
Growing up, I didn't. It wasn't until I went to upstate New York that I even got a car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. And you know what? Seattle is starting to show, you know what? We can beat them. We can beat them all if we want to. So, Jim eventually will be here if the traffic will let him get here.
One person says a lot of people have worn out tires. They don't realize until it starts raining and they slip and slide everywhere and crash.
Oh, damn. You know what? When you go get your car, oiled up and everything or whatever, someone's supposed to help you out with that.
Oiled up?
Well, yeah. Like when you get your oil change, if you go to a cool place, they're supposed to tell you about all that stuff. Like look at your tires, do all that stuff. Make sure you're not, doing bad stuff.
Yeah, I've just never heard it oiled up before.
I want to go to the get oiled up. So Halloween, the movie, a lot of folks, I've heard mixed reviews about this. Rotten Tomatoes, of course, gave it a good review. But I've heard people either love this movie or hate this movie.
I have zero interest in, we talked about this earlier. I'm not a fan of horror films, but this one looks good from the trailers.
Yeah, and it's gotten good reviews. It's done well at the box office, making over $87 million in less than a week, which is really great for a Halloween season movie.
Has anyone seen it? No,
not yet. No. I have to go back and watch the first one.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you really need to?
Yeah, this is a direct sequel to that one, so you need that frame of reference.
Michael Myers kills a bunch of people.
I know, but that's part of the fun. You got to go in through it and watch the original, and then you can go in with that fresh in your brain, and then you can go see the sequel.
And Jamie Lee Curtis lives. That's what we know, right? Spoiler alert.
Oh, God, spoilers, man.
Well, for the first movie. I don't know what happens in the second movie. But how about that $87 million is double what the original Halloween flick made back in the day when it came out.
Wow.
Yeah. And apparently this movie is so scary that moviegoers are claiming on Twitter that it has given them anxiety attacks. It's made them lose sleep and nearly pee their pants.
Nice.
Really? In this day and age, there's a movie that can do that to you. I find that hard to believe.
Have you not been around some people that freak out in movie theaters, though, over the dumbest stuff?
Yeah, you're right. My wife is one of those people.
Not everybody is so, jaded by everything in a movie. Some people legit still get scared by stupid stuff.
Vicky won't even go.
No?
I am kind of tempted because I like Jamie Lee Curtis, but I wish there was a thing where it would cut out all the scary stuff or somebody just tells me what happens during the scary stuff, and then I'll go to all these movies.
You don't, but
it's called the trailer.
Yeah, totally.
But I want the ending too. Like, what happened?
So your brain can't tell you that this is actually, first of all, it's a 2D image on a screen. It's not really that.
It's not so much that. I can handle more of the weird stuff. Like even Evil Dead, I could probably kind of be okay with because I know, okay, it's not real. But when I see it's a human element, this could be real.
Oh, you mean like it's a guy putting on a William Shatner mask?
Yeah.
Anybody could do that.
Exactly. And then I'm a very vivid dreamer, so I will have dreams for days about it.
All right. Well, there you go, Steve. That's those kind of people. I just smile like I can eat popcorn and have a full meal while someone's getting eviscerated.
Yeah.
I can watch The Walking Dead with my dinner. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I never understand when people get the only thing that ever really grossed me out is when you see legitimate surgery scenes like on Facebook, when some people post those things and it's real.
Oh, that
when I know it's a movie, you just kind of have it in your head. You're like, this is completely made through Hollywood.
That's true, because I'll tell you this, even watching like the Grey's Anatomy kind of surgery, that still skis me out because like Vicky said, it's something that can happen in real life. I know it's not a real surgery because it's a TV show, and yet, they take out that guy's wrenched ankle or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm done.
I totally forgot Danny McBride's has a writing credit in this. He helped with the screenplay.
For Halloween?
Yeah.
Look at Danny McBride.
Good on him.
All right.
Trying to think if there's ever been anything that's actually legitimate besides alcohol induced. Has there ever been anything that made me pee my pants as an adult? Like a movie? Has a movie ever scared you where you peed yourself?
Not a movie.
What?
Real life did, and I did, and it wasn't. I didn't pee myself.
Oh.
You did the other thing?
Yeah.
What? Was it at a strip club?
Was it at a strip?
Why
club?
would a strip club?
What
Did
do you
you
think I was in
sneeze too hard?
Cleveland?
Oh, that side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
God,
bad.
Steve, geez, what would make... Honestly,
Well, I mean,
I
that's
work with a pervert.
Why the strip club would make more sense.
Yeah, now I get why. You went from number 2 to number 3 is what you did. No, I didn't. There was no number 3 involved.
All right, fine. I like how that's more disgusting than number 2.
It's not disgusting. It's just like, you normally when you go, hey, I didn't blank myself because I was scared. Who's ever been so scared that they went number 3?
But you didn't say, were you scared in that one?
Oh, definitely. That's the whole idea. Oh, I scared what
scared the crap
to put
out of you?
Martin Lawrence's words, it scared the mess out of me.
What happened?
I was lost in Wyoming. We went, on our trip to the Grand Tetons.
Wait a second. I didn't know this part.
No.
Did we not know this part?
No, he's never said this.
You've heard about this. I've talked about
Is this the one where you thought the dog was a bear?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that you did the old number 2
I didn't know
yourself.
I told the story.
Wait, were you out
guys
in
weren't
the
listening.
woods going number 2?
I was out in the woods, and I was lost and had to go to the bathroom, number 1. But I was going number 1. Then these eyes came at me, and I thought, oh my God, this is a bear or a wolf, because that's all they have in friggin' Wyoming. I hadn't seen any dogs, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. If anybody knows Wyoming, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
and
one person even said the strip clubs in Wyoming would scare the ass out of you.
And yeah, actually, they put the fear of bear into you whenever you're going. Like when I went to the Grand Canyon, they're like, the Yellowstone. They would say there's going to be bears everywhere, so they freak you out about that.
They have bear-proof trash cans outside the airport, like the main airport in Wyoming. That's when you know you're in bear country. It's like, hey, this is the airport. I mean, bears come up to the runway and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, man. So I'm out there. It's late, and I'm lost because my GPS stops working. So I drive past the airport, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's no lights. There's nothing. There's no stores. I'm just on this never-ending road of nothing, and I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to pull over. I pull over to do number 1. Then these glowing eyes just come at me, and at this point, I'm like, oh, man, this is it. I'm never going to be able to get out of here. And I was like, and then it literally, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am not going to be able to stop the force of nature coming out the other side.
So you were standing up while that happened?
Well, then I had to make the adjustment. Once I saw that it was a dog, but at that point I thought I was going to die. And I'm like, all right, dog. So me and the dog were there while the dog. You know how you sometimes watch a dog awkwardly go to the bathroom?
Yeah, he looked at you that way.
He looked at me that way.
Look at this stupid human.
Did you make eye contact the entire time to assert your dominance?
Oh, dude, I was just so happy he was a dog.
Did the dog pick it up after you like we do for them?
Yeah, the dog pulled a little bag out and
That'd
said,
be nice.
"Geez, thanks, human." Put in the.
Gave you a little treat.
Speaking of bears, did you hear about what happened up in Vancouver?
No.
Or a little bit. It was in a smaller town in Vancouver. Some bears showed up in some guy's backyard, so he went out there to try and deal with it. And one of the bears started coming at him, so he had to shoot the bear, and it was still coming at him and his dog.
Oh!
And here's the crazy part: the whole time while this is happening, his wife is filming it from their house
While he's being attacked by a bear.
Makes sense to me.
What is she doing that?
I mean, there he is, and the bear starts charging at him and his dog, so he had to shoot at it.
Whoa!
And look at that thing, dude. Could you imagine?
Oh, and he's still shooting at the damn thing. Oh, and finally it's like, okay, I got.
And he gets back up.
Whoa! after he shot him. And you're right, he rolls
How
around
much adrenaline
and he
is
still
that?
oh, damn. That would be, that's not good. That's not good, Bear. You're supposed to, when you get shot, you're supposed to be done.
Not this bear.
Damn.
Do you think he gets action after all that?
The bear?
No, the human.
Oh.
Yes, the bear. I mean, nothing is more gangster than a bear showing up to his bear friends with a bunch of bullet wounds.
Yeah, his and Mrs. Bear, Mrs. Yogi should be like, dude, you got shot. You know what? You're getting some action tonight.
The 50 cent of bears.
Yeah. He better get axed, the guy, because his wife didn't do anything to help him as he's getting attacked by a bear. At least she could do is, help a scared brother out. Dude, that's just crazy. Whoa, and she's just filming the whole thing while, you think she was like hoping? You think they got a good relationship?
And wanted proof for the insurance?
Yeah, who's filming this? I'm yelling my ass off.
What are you doing? I mean, you can't do anything. You're not going to go out there and help them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want that on record, my husband or my wife getting mauled to death.
I couldn't even imagine that.
Whoa, dude.
Especially when you shoot it, you think, I'm safe. And the thing just does like a weird belly roll and gets right back up and comes at you.
He is point blank shooting, and that bear it's still going. Wow. That bear's hardcore. Damn, dude. I wouldn't go out there in the wilderness at that point. Now I got to put traps around my house, like you know what I mean? Like all those booby trap kind of things. Yeah, to stop the government from coming in. Yeah, now I got to do that for bears.
The bear kept coming to the house with her mouth open, ready to bite me. I slammed the door. Holy F. She was going to come into the house.
Damn, dude. Wow. All right, yesterday, Steve did get this one wrong.
A shadow clock is another name for what piece of ancient technology?
A clock?
No.
A watch?
No.
A box?
No.
The old school sundial, Steve, how they used to do it back in the way day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want a shot? You can have a shot at beating Steve. And you know what? Today, you're going to have Jim Norton actually play for you against Steve. How about that? And Jim's a smart guy, so I think you got a good shot, Jim, playing for you. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
Innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses work together and continue to build the future. Our expertise, talented workforce, and collaborative environment are making a difference now and shaping the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio to put your plans in motion. That's michiganbusiness.org/radio.